Hey guys, my name is William. I'm with Studio 369. I'm one of the core developers and community manager of the project. Wanted to just run with you, show some of the game options, the menu, things that you can do in the game, and kind of walk you through a course of building up a village and kind of showcasing all the cool stuff that you can do in the game. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you through. Right now, we do have English and German translations. German can be selected, obviously, from the game option menu where German is available there. Um, that's a nod for our German community, which have been very outspoken, and we wanted to make sure that included translations for them in the game. Otherwise, we have a full feature set of our video options here, including FSR and DLSS implementation, frame generation, and all that good stuff. Uh, Game does have controller support, so you can rebind your keys as needed, including our mouse and keyboard that look, mouse sensitivity options, and basic rebinds for anything that you would need. So heading back to the main menu, you can see over here we have our options. We have two modes, basically a campaign mode and then the full sandbox. The campaign consists of scenarios. Right now, we have an initial scenario for early access, which many of you may have played in the demo. We'll go ahead and do a sandbox um, just so you can check that stuff out. We have difficulty options here, and those tune basically various gameplay factors that impact villagers' morale, um, income, your treasury, various events that happen in the world, weather, things like that. So we're going to go ahead and just select normal for now, as most will do, from difficulty and kick off our sandbox game. Right, so starting out here, I've already made my character previously, so obviously you would be able to go through the character customization for everything. Um, Here we are in sandbox mode outside of the King's Road. The King's Road is basically a highway system for AI, and that connects different regions of the map with different villages. Right now we have uh, basically a lot open section here that is utilized in our first scenario um, with some pre-written roadways and pathways and plots and things like that. But essentially, you can set up and build your village anywhere. But I'm going to go ahead and build from this location. You guys can see various core functions. Going over to basics on the bottom left, you'll see our user interface that showcases how many villagers you have, combined village morale, how much gold you have in your treasury. In sandbox mode, you do start out as a noble with 300 gold. Um, so we're going to keep that in mind. But the first things first, we're just going to go through some. So this is your kingdom tab here that shows your kingdom rank. You want to climb this kingdom rank over time. Shows your population, amount of visitors. As you have a market up and a reason for visitors to visit your village, whether it's a fishing village or a mining village, what have you. It's up to the player to decide. It's up to you to ultimately decide. Um, what kind of production you want to really focus on. Kingdom value here is kind of the total value of your kingdom, your assets, structures, villagers, whatnot. Food reserves, obviously, you got to feed your village, and then the requirements for the next rank. So obviously, if you want to go to the hamlet rank, you need a woodcutter, storehouse, basic tavern, at least a population of 6, and a holdings value of 100. This will show your labor force here, and since we don't have any, that's going to be remain empty. And then economy, including the upkeep, as you hire and recruit new villagers, some of them differ in terms of rank and rarity. You have everyone from peasants all the way up to nobles that you can recruit. They obviously need a reason why they should join your village, and need to satisfy those requirements. Obviously, the economy here consists of trade that's done through coin, and you have various options here. You can collect berries, mushrooms, produce eggs from chicken coops. You can fish for fish, obviously, hunt for meat, create craft bread. You got fruit, you got lumber, wood planks that are refined from lumber, clay, bricks. Uh, bricks is a combination of stone and clay that are used to build homes and keeps and brick structures, basically for tier two. Got granite, glass panes. We got a bunch of resources that are coming down the line. And obviously a lot more to come as we develop in early access. So there's going to be a very complex set of economy loops here, and all of them have a hand and chain in the production cycle. So that's the kingdom menu. Under your milestones, you'll have milestones that develop over time. You'll have your villagers list here, your buildings list over here, and visitors as they come, and then recruits, which will refresh a pool of recruits that you can hire based off of certain triggerable events. You can also research if you have a research station here, and this is all work in progress. Obviously, part of early access, but we have tiers in the research tree. Basically, a homestead tier, allowing research of storehouse, some tavern assets like the bar and cooking pot, your storehouse, which is a basic requirement, library, which is research desk that you need to build, and coming soon, bathhouse assets. As you tier up to hamlet, you'll be able to build additional tavern assets, be able to start building a church with altars and pews, and then from there on, pretty much self-explanatory. Kitchenette for the tavern. You start to get higher and higher tier build components that you can essentially build and craft yourself and place. So there's a lot of stuff that's work in progress right now. A lot of this stuff is still being reworked and coming down the line, but the functionality is in there, and something that you as a player can definitely play with. Eventually, once we get down to the town and city, here's you'll be able to build castles and keeps um, and all that good stuff. So that's the research tab. We have a second page here that goes through additional research elements: loom, dressing mirror, furnaces, guard posts, all that good stuff to protect your village. We have basically the foragers tab over here, which has to do with the a fishery, herbalism, farmhouse, animal plots. Then lastly we have our guide tab, which walks you through explaining all the different nuances of the game, different aspects of the game itself, such as building, combat, decorative scores that increases the morale and quality of life for your villagers. Dynamic quest system is explained, including productivity, recruitment, upkeep requirements, visitors, workers that you have. This is all good information to walk through as you play the game and reference if you have any questions. And of course, milestones here, which describe long-term goals for the scenario. So for now, what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and get started. Take a look at my inventory here. I got the sword, I got my hammer. An axe is included with the rest of the tools that you'll eventually need to craft for the rest of your village. But in early access, so right now they have those tools included. But first things first, we're going to go ahead and, like we do, a lot of chop some trees. Get our initial stockpile of wood going, so we can build our first house, start growing a village. Here we collected some lumbers. You can see that they're being added on the bottom left. I'll go ahead and clear this tree completely out. Trees do regrow over time. They're seasonal, so they will eventually regrow. And one thing that we do have planned is being able to plant trees, so you can use them to either decorate or just reforest. So events also pop up notifications on the bottom left, like such as new recruits available. We can take a look at who's available to hire or bring into our village as a starting point. So I'll go ahead and hit K, and let's go over to visitors or the recruits tab and see what we got. A tradesman, you can tell by the banner that their interface card contains, and the requirements along with their traits. So each generated villager basically has their own traits, and you have to balance those traits to really provide some level of synergy in your production and your village. We have two peasants here. We got Harold and Amabel. Harold, obviously, very strong guy. He's got a strength of 4. Unfortunately, he is lazy, so he might stop working at some point and just sit around not doing anything. He's a homebody, so hovering over the traits provides you an explanation of what those traits do. As a homebody trait, he gains -20 to +10 morale based on his proximity to work from his home. So obviously, you want to assign him to a workstation that is relatively close to where he lives. That's what he prefers. Amabel, arrogant, gain 10 morale if worker with highest skill at workplaces, but -10 if not. He's pious, spends free time at the temple. So obviously, if you have a church, you would enjoy that. There's requirements here: house with a building value of 32 and a tier 1 library. But I think the first person I'm going to grab, I need someone strong, obviously, to be lugging lumber around. So that should be my first focus. So I'm going to focus on, I'm just going to recruit Harold as Harold is a peasant class, relatively cheap. I'll negotiate. Harold has spent several years as a charcoal burner. He now lives alone near the forest, his skin permanently blackened by soot. Villagers fear him as an outsider despite neat skills and product. So we're going to negotiate, make an offer. Obviously, the higher the better. If you decide to try and negotiate and lowball an offer that's within this range, there's a chance that they'll refuse. And if the recruit refuses, basically they'll be lost from the pool, and that pool will regenerate, and you'll attract a new villager that you can recruit. So you can always reject them. Don't bother negotiating with them, or you can, if you really want them, you can cap an offer and make the offer. In which case the recruit has accepted officially village. Now this person has appeared in my villagers tab, is obviously running idle, so I need to set up a home, start setting his job, and I'm going to plan to assign him as a lumber worker. So we'll do exactly that. So first things first, I need to build a house for him so that he's happy, has a place to rest. Otherwise, he's not going to be able to get any productivity down. So we're going to start out with that. So there's 2 modes to building. Basically, we have granular building modes where you can build each individual piece, and we have prefabs where you can place down prefabs down. And these are basically buildings that are either packaged and unlocked in the game, the default prefabs, or there's prefabs that other players build. And when you build a prefab, you can then also upload it to Steam via this button here, upload to Steam. So what it does is it uploads the prefab to the Steam workshop, and other lords and ladies can essentially download that workshop prefab and use it for their own village. So it's kind of a multiplayer component in the sense that in a single player game you can still share your creations with other folks, and if other folks, for example, don't want to waste time building stuff on their own, they can easily go to the workshop, subscribe, to a workshop prefab and use that in their own build. But I'm going to go ahead for the sake of walking you through the build process. I'm going to do this manually and maybe save our own prefab, for example. So basically, we're going to start out. Wood is tier 1. We're going to start out with tier 1 foundations here. And as it's the cheapest, we don't have brick and things like that for tier 2 currently readily available until we get some of those research tree unlocks and get a little bit further down progression. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to set up, actually I'm going to select my deconstruction tool, undo that. We're going to go back to our foundation here, build this out in this form. So I'm going to place foundation here. I'm going to do a small home that has a little bit that has a porch. Let's select this half wood foundation and place this like so until it snaps properly. I'm going to add wood foundation stairs here so that our villager can get inside of his home like so. Build a doorway here, window right here, allow some light through here, and I'm gonna wall off the right here, probably where the bed's gonna go. A small little home, you know, small little home for our villager. I'm gonna place a wooden gable wall on here side, and then let's add our roof. Got a thatch gable that's placeable here. That fits perfectly. Got the gables in, and that's kind of the initial. Now we're gonna want to officially make this a home, and we can't do that until we place certain requirements. So you can always go back to the guide and you can tab over to the building types category from our guides tab, and here we're looking at the house and we know what we need to build. So the house, you got to have a minimum structure score of 14, you know, a couple walls, doorway, a decoration score of 30, so that means you need a bed, you need a door. It provides 2 worker slots where 2 workers essentially live in that house. So this is always a great place to reference. This will also walk through all the different tier requirements for that home, whether it's a tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3 house. So in our case, what we're gonna do is bed. Here we got a bed, but you notice that the highlight is yellow. That means we're missing some resources. So I'm going to go back to the bed and see what is required for it. Here you can see hovering over it. Bed requires 6 planks. So now we need planks to refine. So we're going to need a lumber wood shop basically. So I'm going to start fitting some more wood here. Our villager is still idle. Harold, I believe his name was. Harold, yes. The rest is lumber. Get our woodworking station going. Okay, so I got another tree down. We do know that Harold likes, double check, but we do know that he is a homebody, so he needs to be relatively close to his home. So we're actually gonna build a woodworkers station, basically woodworkers hut, relatively close and here inside the forest, so that Harold has access to all kinds of trees. Let's go ahead and do right. spot. You can essentially build anywhere you want, and you can also carve out your own roads. So here we have foundation. I'm gonna place it right here. If you're looking for specific, if you're trying to align things specifically, we do have a snap system, and we do have the tactical view, which can be done with um, hotkey E, Papa. Here you can foundation here next to it. So go back to our third person view, add some stairs up to it. I want to keep this open so that the lumber workers have access basically from all around structure, so they don't have to basically navigate to one side. And I'm gonna place a couple, and then what I'm gonna do is just a simple cover to protect them from the weather. I'm gonna add some of the supports, wooden arch supports here. Side here. Basically gonna go all the way around. Basically a full complete frame system. And then we can go ahead and match our wooden gables. Lastly, did this done just like that. Now this isn't officially a woodworking station until we get some key production assets in. Here we have a log pile that we can store, but you know what, before I do that, let's go over to our guide and look at the woodcutter. So we're trying to create this woodworking station, a woodcutter station. Get a woodcutter's bench, log pile storage. Those are the two requirements. Provides description. Harvest raw lumber. 1 lumber equals 5 planks equals 1 kindling, and kindling is used for fueling heat in the homes. So we need those two. I'm gonna go ahead and craft a log pile here, and we're gonna place the log pile where it's easy to access this end. And then we'll also add woodcutter's bench here on this end. Now the green arrow indicates the appropriate access point for the villagers. So we want it somewhere that's accessible for the villagers when they're working. Place that. Now you can add lighting and all that stuff, but I just want to get, wood cutting up and running. Get Harold to start working. Now that we have officially created the woodcutter's bench here, you go to the buildings tab, you now officially have a woodcutter with 2 slots available and upgrade options. You can view all that under the maintenance, upgrade and tier requirements. Structurally, we've already surpassed the initial tier 1 requirement, 47 over 24. You can spend 100 gold and upgrade that. For now, I'm going to go over to our villager, or rather our woodcutters tab here. It'll show the available peasants that are that you can assign to those roles. Right now I need a lumberjack, so I'm going to assign Harold to the lumberjack role. This productivity bonus will be dependent on their stats and their happiness, obviously. And he's not too happy, indicated by this kind of yellow bar. We want this yellow bar to go up to green, and we can figure out why by looking at the villager and going over to their details and their activity. This will show you can track, and you can rename your villagers. You can track them so you can always see them in the map no matter what. So if you're looking for a specific person, it's useful, and then you can give them working orders. You can have them follow you. You can tell them to relax, or you can assign them to working. Otherwise, this system is fully automated, and they're gonna work through their daily work cycles. So he's currently homeless, so we know that we need to get Harold a home. So that's what we'll focus on next. But now that we do have him working, we'll be able to have a consistent stream of lumber coming in to the log pile. Okay, so now that we have that, we know we need to build a bed, and that costs 5 planks. I'm gonna take a look at how much logs I have, and I'm gonna go ahead and start converting some of them myself. While Harold is chopping down trees, you can see him over there. He's heading to one of the trees to take down and bring in some lumber. I'm gonna go ahead and help him out by crafting some planks myself to get his home up and running ASAP. I got 20 wooden planks. Use those, get his house up and running. Got new recruits available. All right, double bed is ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and place it right here. Now we officially have a house. That house needs a door, as indicated by the structure requirements at the top right. Go ahead and, well, got a door. Now, obviously, we can make this a lot nicer for him, but let's take a look at the stats of our. Once again, I'm gonna hit K, go to buildings, house, and just so that I can track and organize my workers based off of where they live, I'm gonna edit the name of the house to Woodcutter house. That way, I always know, looking at this list, this is the woodcutter's house. Anyone working in the woodcutting station is going to be assigned to these quarters. So I'm going to assign Harold to this house. We know he likes to work relatively close, so now we've got an increase in his productivity bonus. Decoration score is a little bit low, so we're going to see if we can improve his morale a bit by adding some decoration and providing obviously warmth because under maintenance you'll see that there are home fuel requirements for upkeep, and we're gonna take our kindling and just add fuel. That's all that I got. Otherwise, villagers that live at the home, they'll be able to automatically take kindling from the log pile or any storage that kindling is in and fuel their homes with it by themselves. But until we have a sawyer, someone that will take the logs and process to that byproduct of kindling, we'll have to do it manually. So now that we have that all straightened out, I'm going to go ahead and improve its decoration score a little bit here. I add some lighting, porch on the outside, maybe go through some decoration tab, maybe provide an awning over the doorway, add some shutters that we have protection from the elements. Here. Granted, I have the resource. I should. So now we got a structure score of 56/14, decoration score of 18 out of 30. I want to reach that. Keep decorating, maybe work on the add a fence. Let's add add some wood fence, but I need more planks for that. So right now I'm going to hold off, and I'm just going to help Harold. How we're looking. Move that waypoint He's already bringing in logs. We got 47 in the pile. Hurting these. That way we can keep working. We did get new recruits, so I'm going to take a look at the recruits tab here after I process some of this lumber and planks. We're definitely going to need some light sources as it's getting dark. Let's get some simple torches. Better area here. A toggle snap. I don't like the alignment here. That works. Perfect. 3 toggle snap. Pull that out. And we got a couple torches inside of the woodcutter. Okay, coming back over to the house, I want to add the. We want to add fences here. Organize it. Want. Here we go. Got a couple little porch railings going on. I'm gonna add a stool for Harold to rest. Place it right here. And there we got a decoration score of 33. Take a look at our buildings tab. Woodcutter's house. Cool. Tap that out. We can see now Harold, his morale has significantly. You've built him a comfortable home, place for him to relax, take breaks, and a place to sleep, obviously. You can do a lot more here. Add a table, add some furniture, all that good stuff. Now, this should do. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our recruits tab. We have one peasant here, Henry. Lethal, deals more damage to enemies. Naturalist, spends free time in the woods, may pick berries. He's got some interesting requirements. He does need a basic tavern, a place for him to take a break and grab a drink. Alma here is a peasant as well. 1, 1, 3, 2. Grumpy, a barfly. Requires a house with a building value of 6. Then we have a tradesman who is a loner. Obviously, don't assign them to a workplace that requires more than 3 people, so something to keep in mind. For now, I'm going to skip on this set of recruits, and I'll just wait for the next set of recruits to fill that pool. And in the meantime, I'm going to work on our next project. So we got to keep in mind that we do need a sawyer, but more importantly, we're going to eventually need a steady stream of income. 270 gold currently. As you recruit more villagers, you got to negotiate with them, and obviously you're going to be spending gold. So what I'm going to do here is our next process should be collecting berries. We need basic sustenance. Berries are readily available. They are seasonal, but that's something we can stockpile and process and even sell on the market. So what we're going to do here is we're going to build a forager's hut. In this case, we do have a generated default forager's hut prefab, which I do want to use. That has a structure score 244 and decoration 65. Fortunately, it requires 31 logs and 37 planks, 22 of which I do have, 5 planks which I do have as well. So I have to do a little bit of math, get that lumber processed and get that building underway, get our second home underway, and hopefully we'll have some good viable candidates that we can recruit. I'm gonna shoot for 40 planks just so we have a little bit of extra. And here we got lots of logs. Carol's doing some good work here. Let's grab 50 logs. You actually don't need to even really retrieve them in your inventory. All right, prefab, economy, forger's hut. We have everything we need here for this prefab. But let's scout around and take a look and make sure that there's deer wants to get out of my way. We got a field of berry bushes right here. This is an ideal spot. Looks like berries of sorts. They'll also hit up mushrooms as well, and these are found in forests. So we got a couple mushroom patches here. So this looks like a pretty ideal location right off of this little ridge. So I'm gonna set it right outside, just so that the workers also have access to their home relatively close and. So I'm gonna select a forger's hut. I'm gonna go ahead and the tactical view to place this. Gonna hit R to rotate. Find a good angle for placement. Go ahead and put it right here. We'll return to third-person view. Here we have our forger's hut. Included is a forger's basket in that prefab. A place to sit and rest. Some decorative items, and a structure already built out for it. We can always tear this down, or we can upgrade it individually. We can take pieces and you can take individual pieces, add them if you want. You do whatever you want to existing prefabs. But we got the forger's hut in place. And now we're going to work on getting a second home. Now, we don't want to have to rebuild a simple home here all the way through and through. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to take the woodcutter's house, since we know it has a good baseline score, 56/14 and then 33. And we're going to save this out as a prefab. So what I'm doing here is we're going to select the entire building, and we're going to save this as a prefab. Alternatively, you can go over to the buildings tab, select the home, and check your building requirements here for everything that you need. And if it's tier 2, you can always upgrade the tier 2 parts and then upgrade the actual tier of the house. But we're not going to do that right now. So what we're going to do is just save this one out as a tier 1 prefab. So I'm going to hit Q. I'm going to go over to select individual building part, or select them all. In this case, we have them all selected still. And we're going to save this building as a prefab. Click that. And here we have an image of the thumbnail that we're going to use. And we're going to save the prefab out. It's a little dark right now, and we're working on improving the nighttime capture of prefabs because it uses the camera that's lit separately. So I'm going to actually wait for daybreak and save this prefab out, since I just want to use the sun's natural lighting and position in order to save the thumbnail in. So note to self, we're going to do this first thing in the morning. In the meantime, I'm going to check our recruits tab and see if there's anyone that is a good addition to the woodcutters bench. We got Greta here, who's a peasant, 2113. Foodie, hunger decays 20% faster than normal. Obviously, eat. Homebody. Same deal with Harold. Actually, wants to be close to work, so this might be a good addition. So let's go ahead and negotiate a good addition to our woodcutter. So you might make a fine Sawyer. Let's make this offer here. Get her recruited. Let's get her assigned to the woodcutter's house here. Harold likes that. Harold has a friend now, so his morale has significantly improved. And let's get Greta working. Go to buildings. Woodcutter. We're going to assign Greta to Sawyer. She's got work, so she's a little bit happier about it. We're going to take a look at our woodcutter. We can upgrade the tier for 100. I'm going to hold off because I really want to preserve my treasury for now. But now we have Greta working on she's going to be able to refine lumber for us. There she is all the way. The road over here heading this way looks like. Yep. And Harold's over here. It's nighttime. At night, workers like to rest. At some point, they'll be in bed, resting. And in the mornings, they'll be back on a full production cycle. Now, villagers do have different traits, so some of them may prefer to work at it. Got another recruit pool. Take a look. See what we got. Josephine, peasant 3231, light eater, barfly. So might be good for our first forager. Now we got Abigail. Abigail is a unique noble character, exclusive to pre-orders of the game. So if you do pre-order the game, you're gonna have Abigail show up in your recruitment pool, and she has some awesome stats. 4, 4, 5, 6. Barfly, spends free time at the tavern. Flirty, gives the opposite gender of coworkers plus 10 morale, and then gives members of the same gender minus 5 morale. So obviously, she's very competitive against other female villagers. So it's good to pair her up with males. Flirty, competitive. That's part of her. We're coming up on dawn. So we got the sun rising over here. The east. All right, I'm going to go ahead and save this prefab out now. Here, it's still a little bit dark because it's dawn. That thumbnail capture, though, we're fixing right now, so that's technically a bug. As we approach early access launch, those bugs we're actively attempting to squash. Here you can see Harold is conversing with Rita, new coworker, so they'll occasionally stop and chat with each other, especially when they're not working. As soon as the workday begins, they're gonna start moving over to their assigned tasks and start working. So we have Josephine, who's an ideal candidate for our first forager. So I'm going to go ahead and negotiate and get her on board. See if we can do it at 30 without capping. Yep. Great. All right. Good. I'm going to go ahead and save this. Prefab name, we can name it Small House Tier 1. This is example Small House. And then you can save the prefab. You can save it locally, and alternatively, you can also upload it to Steam via that. But I want to use it locally so we can get the house for our forgers rolling here. So I'm going to hit P just for better tactical view placement. And over here, I'm going to place it like right here. So I'm going to go to the prefab list here, housing, and you can see the one that I made, Small House Tier 1, and we'll get that placed. Now, since we have insufficient resources, back, add them. Need 29 wood plank. 7 a lot, if I remember. Here, logs here. Actually, I'm gonna take them all. Find a bunch of them. Once the villagers are done lollygagging, they'll start working here. You can probably encourage them to do so manually through the kingdoms menu. You can actually try that here in a second. Let me go for 30 planks. Let's check our villager. So Harold is working. Beta is back to working. So we'll have to just keep an eye. Go back over here and get the second. Back to tactical view. The one that we made for dark screenshot. That place guy right. Now you can always place over bushes and stuff like that. They'll disappear. Obviously, when you place that right there, that waypoint, go back into third person and have that same house that we just built earlier simply duplicated, and we're gonna rename this house. Back to build. Select our house. Rename it to the forager. Or foragers. Foragers. Find Josephine here. Let's make sure to add fuel for the upkeep. And let's go to foragers here. Find Josephine to foraging. Boom. Good. Now she's gonna start collecting berries and whatnot. So the next step. Now the question may arise where can you as a player basically build without having to go to the woodcutter's bench and grab resources from the log pile and always have it in your inventory? And the answer to that is yes, but you need to build a storehouse. A storehouse is where all of your stored goods can eventually go. And we have villagers called porters that will focus on transporting all of your production byproducts and you produce byproducts and transport them to the warehouse. So that may be something that is in our best interest to do as we start getting ready to set up a market so that we can start selling some. But we're trying to get the basics going here to where this village can become self-sufficient a bit. And we are making our way there. So the next building I'm going to work on while the rest are working is our storehouse. After the store, actually, let's double check our tab. Make sure technology. Yep. So we do have it initially. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and manually build our storehouse here. And what we're going to do, get real simple. Foundation here. I like to always add port. It gives you a little bit of extra space to add decoration for. Add stairs there. Same deal. Door frame here. We want to keep our storehouse secured to protect it from bandits and from infestation, rats, because obviously we don't want any perishable. That there. Here. Add our triangle cable wall here. Get our gable roofing here. Good. Get our door added. And let's get our storehouse. So what we're gonna do is we're going to services, and here we got, again, let me go back to the guide and let's go check storehouse. Now I already know these by heart. Granted, I mean I've been working on the game, so I would know these things, but you don't. So that's why I wanted to always refer to the guide. And here in the guide we see structure score 24, decoration score minimum 20. We need a market ledger and a market store. So those are the two benches that we need before this officially becomes triggered as a storehouse building. So what we're going to do is go over to our ledger. We need 10 planks, and we need 10 for the storage. So let's go get now we got visitors already coming to the village. They're looking for food. Did not find any. That's because a market yet. Greta already working. Greta's got a couple planks already ready for us. Greta is over here storing more planks. All right, we got 17 on us. Be able to go ahead and head back over to our storehouse. Dibble. Visitor looking for food. Here we got the merchant's ledger. We're gonna place it this way. And then we're gonna place our storage. Oh, we need 3 more planks. I did not calculate. Let's head back over to our woodcutter. more planks. Back over here. Go ahead and build our market storage. Oh. Okay, this is officially a storehouse.
Not quite.
Oh, Alexa, you can turn off for now. Nothing like trying to do a development stream and Alexa just decides to interrupt your session, right? Okay, so under our buildings tab here, actually in our kingdom menu, buildings tab, we see that we have the storehouse with 3 slots. We have the 2 merchant slots and a porter, and we need tradesmen for these roles. Tradesmen have a little bit higher requirements. And let's see if we have any in the pool. We have 3 in the pool right now. Wow, how lucky are we? Unfortunately, we might be only able to negotiate with 2 of them. We don't have a tavern for one of them. Margaret requires a tavern. So we're going to loner, disciplined, clumsy, 10% chance to destroy item when crafted. He definitely should be a porter. Maybe not a good idea to make him a porter. He might drop too many things. Wander, even worse. You know what? Pass. Loner, disciplined. I don't think they're going to be too happy, maybe, and their productivity might be impacted because we don't have a library or a temple. So let's just keep pre-planning until we get the right villager mix. In this case here, I'm going to focus on crafting or building a medium house, maybe. This is a prefab that I made earlier, or we can use our default prefab small house, but we have the one that we saved from before. I imagine that they may have a little bit increased housing requirements, but the 2 that I have seen, so let's go ahead and start gathering up. And planks there. Grab a bunch of the lumber. Leave 20 for Greta to work on, and let's refine a couple more. Right. Got new recruits have just appeared. Oh wow. See, here we go. We got a tradesman here, house with a decor value of 40, tavern with a got Thomas, who is lethal and a drunkard, spends free time at the tavern, may get into fights. Bertha, who is actually really focused on angling, so she would be ideal for fishing. So that is good to keep in mind. Man, choices. Well, we all got to start somewhere. So let's go ahead and let's negotiate with I'm kind of mixed on Richard because of his traits. So I might be like, you know what? Let's lowball, see if he takes. He lowballed, kind of. He took. I'm going to go ahead and assign him to the Forgers building since it's so close. So maybe we'll rename it to Forgers or forgers slash storehouse. You can rename it to however you want to organize. It's completely up to you. Let's throw Richard in there, and then let's assign Richard as let's assign him as a porter. That way we can start hauling resources over to the storehouse first and foremost. We got Richard working there. We're going to continue expanding. See if any berries have. Yep, we got 19 berries in there, so our forager is actively working. And let's get another house roll. Go over to the prefab, select our small tier 1 house. We need a couple more planks for that to happen. So I'm go ahead and since our porter is starting to make his rounds, I'm take over here, grab those existing planks, head back over here and just start expanding our village. Now I'm trying to think of where to place our home here. I kind of want to reserve this bigger lot for or even for I might lunk it down over here. Head into tactical view, kind of align stuff. I'd say this is pretty good right here. Angle, place that right there. Got a house set up over here now. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and name this one. The market house. Take a look at our recruits. We've got Thomas here. Good to have a tough guy. Make him an offer. Thomas has accepted and joined the village. Go ahead and go over to our buildings tab. Market house, we're going to assign him to quarters there. Storehouse, we're going to assign Thomas as our first merchant. I eventually would love to have Alice, but until we reach these minimum requirements, we won't be able to recruit her. So the tavern is something that we'll definitely end up doing, but right now, self-sufficiency is the name of the game. So I think I'm going to work on fishing. We'll see if I don't know if she'll be in the next pool after the time remaining, or the pool refreshes and we get a new set of recruits, but we'll eventually see another angler for sure. But in the meantime, we'll start working on a fishing pier and a home for them. So let's go ahead and got Krita bookmarked. Ooh, got Thunder. Go to villagers. Thomas is very unhappy right now for whatever reason. Oh, cold. We forgot to warm up that house and add fuel. So let's go over to the market house and add fuel. Make sure that our house
all of our homes currently. All right. Now we're gonna go ahead and head over to kind of scout out for fishing. There happens to be a nice pond over here. That should have fish in it. A larger body of water, so we can make a pier with a fishing pier. Again, we have prefabs that you can use. In our case here, I'll build one out. So build process. So I'm gonna set up a foundation right here. Add. There's foundation. And at the end of this, oh, we may need to research this. Think about it. Yeah, need to research it. So I've got to backtrack. So we know in the research tab, we need to research the jetty and rack, but we don't have a research building. So that should actually been our in line for progression here. So we need to build a research station. That should be our next building. So we're gonna build a quick little library and add our research station. So I think I will do that right. Good spot. Well, let's go ahead and add a couple foundations. Per usual, per deck. I'll change up the design of this. Add stairs right here. Keep that deck kind of cosmetic. Whoops. Do that. I want to destroy the entire building. There's two. Away. Get. Windows here. I like making these really simple huts. You don't have to be a pro builder to make anything look cool. Just utilize these very simple build components that we have, or take builds from other folks on the Steam Workshop. Good. Let's go ahead and go to services. Up our research desk. 10 planks. Go ahead and set it up here. Voila. Now we can assign research. Now we don't have anyone that can research until take a look at our guide. Take a look at the library. Place for scholars to study research technology. We can do that ourselves. It's got 2 slots. Go to our buildings, go to library, and we need a tradesman to be a scholar. So let's see what available recruits have. Eleanor. Quick, Firefly. She's not gonna be too happy until we have obviously we have a tavern up. Let's go ahead and recruit her. and we will assign her to. Now let's go back to our buildings. We got the market house. Let's go ahead and build another home. More planks. Take a look at our store. Yeah, we got planks starting to roll in, so the porter is starting to transport. You can see the porter is transporting all of those goods here into the storage, which is great for us. Fortunately, we need more, like we need planks. Greta's productivity is not the best, but I'm sure will improve over time. Greta doesn't have any lumber at the moment to work with, so she's kind of going to be idling and relaxing until there's more lumber that's pulled in. So now that we know that the rest of the resources are in the storehouse, we should be able to just build directly from them. Let's go ahead and head over to our prefab house again. Yeah, have requirements available. Go to tactical view, see where we can place relatively close to the light. Here. Best. Don't like any of those positions. So I'm gonna manually place the manual rotations. Let's go ahead and place it to this. Good. All right, let's go to the buildings tab. Let's rename this house over to the library. So, Scholar's home, Scholar's house. Sign Eleanor. Eleanor now has a fuel it. Have any fuel on me, so I'm gonna run to the storehouse, grab some kindling. I should take the kindling automatically from the. We're still working on the functionality of it. Now we did have an event popped up here and everything. Everyone just went completely ham. Just obviously, clearly a bug. We do have a massive storm coming, massive thunderstorm, so everybody's morale dropped. But that also included the visitors, and the visitors don't really actually work in your home, but it does impact their ability to buy and trade in your village. Did I grab those kindling? I did. Feel this house. Done. Yeah, she would definitely be a lot happier with the tavern. But we're going to go ahead and assign her. I think she's already assigned. Library. Yep. So, she's going to work once we start initiating research. Start initiating the research, the homestead bracket for the fishing gym. So we'll go ahead and start researching that, and we'll follow its progress. And she'll go ahead and search for us. In the meantime, I'm going to head over and can probably, according to our storehouse, we do have a merchant, so we should be able to place a market start selling good. Go over to services to our farmers stall. Don't have enough planks currently, so have to make that happen. So it seems like we're outproducing our current income of resources. So Harold's out here banging away on trees. I'm going to supplement that. Set up some trees myself and help move that process along. There's a good batch of lumber there. Go ahead and throw this in. Oh, we got some lumber that she's now, it looks like it's just been deposited and she's working with. So I'm gonna keep this lumber and I'm gonna take the planks that Greta has refined. And we're gonna go over to our fishing pier. Start working on that. So it looks like the fishing jetty is moving along. We're about 50% there. So I think by the time we're done building the initial structure here for the fishing pier, good to go. So I'm gonna make a foundation over this way, or this way. And I'm going to build a hut. Use this wall. Make it feel and look kind of open. Ports up front. Cable. On the outside. Sometimes it's easier to place and build components from the outside. Our gable here, rotate that. Now we do have gable trims, so you can always like add on to this and make them look really more full and complete. I'd say that's pretty good. All right, let's take a look at the research. All right, looks like we're done researching that, which should unlock our build components here. Research complete. There it is. There's a notification at the top. So we're going to go to production. We're going to go to a fishing rack. Requires 20 gold. Got some. Starting to run out of gold. But fish is a good commodity to sell. So I'm going to go ahead and place that there. And let's add, again, let's go back to the guide. Building type. Fishery. We need the fishing rack, which we just placed, and we need a jetty. So let's add the jetty. Here it is. Right here at the end. Now this pier extended out into the pond gives us a good access point to the water. Now we can fish it ourselves, but that process is going to be time consuming. But if you're all about relaxing and kind of taking in the sights, the scenery, your village, the place to relax, you can just come over to your own fishing pier that you built and fish yourself. In the future, we are planning to add a mini game aspect to this so that you can catch fish a bit faster, kind of make a mini game out of it, so it feels a little bit more immersive. So those are some considerations that we're planning around as well. I'm gonna go ahead and stop fishing there, and start getting fisherman's hut. We're gonna build a house that's relatively close here for fishery. Back to our housing. Let's select. Well, I'm gonna just select the default house here that comes with the game. I can place this right there, pretty much next. Here's our porter. All right, let's look for the angler. Let's see if we still have the angler. Yes. Fishery tier 1. Oh, we need to check the requirements of our fishery.
Hey, how's it going then?
Take a look at our buildings tab and fishery. Structural 59 over 24. I don't have enough coin to upgrade, so I think I'm gonna need to upgrade it from tier 0 to tier 1, and that should fulfill the requirements. But we need gold, so we're gonna have to shift our focus back to possibly selling some resources. Let's see what current resources we have. Got 62 berries, plenty of logs. So what we'll do here, let's build that market. Build action. Sorry. Services. Planks. Always with the planks. There. Back. Available at the woodcutter. We've got 20 here. Perfect. All right, let's go get our market stall underway so we can start trading with villagers and start accumulating some coin into our treasury. So I'm gonna place our stall. I'm gonna place our right here next to our storehouse. A lovely idea. Now we can access the storehouse and we can mark items for sale. Here we go. We know that we got plenty of berries, so I'm gonna go ahead and set berries to sell all. We'll focus on selling berries for now. Double check our assignments to the market under storehouse. We have Thomas assigned to it, so we do have someone that is assigned to merchant. So someone, look at that. He is already going to work right away. And we just made our first bit of coin from selling berries. Fantastic. Visitors are happy. They're getting back on their way and heading back to the King's Road. Go back to their respected villages. We're starting to accumulate coin, so that is all good. We're starting to get somewhere. We just need to get fish going. So let's expand our. Margaret is Denver. I don't think we have a village. No, that is a visit. So not need. They actually shouldn't even show up on those notifications. So that's a bug. Those are going to be some small minor bugs, mind you, that you may see in early access from time to time. So we're going to expand our fishery. Let's add some cool things. Decorations. Let's add for furniture tent. Rope fence. These look really. Make sure nobody falls off. Add some there on that side. I'm already out of reason. Really need to capitalize on our resource flow. But we have been spending those resources quite quickly here. Let's double check this. Nope, no planks in there yet. Porter has not retrieved any. We should have some at the woodcutter. Got 5. Not enough lumber. A lot of that lumber is being transported over to the storehouse, so we may want to double check storehouse. Go over to our details tab, and we can make some adjustments here as to what's being collected. Now, obviously, we don't need all the logs that we have in the storehouse. We still want Greta to be able to take some of those logs in the woodcutter's hut and refine them into planks. So for now, what we're going to do is we're going to not store lumber at all. Since we already have like 160 in there, mainly I'm going to use them. We know we're not going to sell them. Lumber is gold for building up. So I'm going to leave those there, and any additional lumber is not going to be picked up from the porter. However, we will continue retrieving planks as kind of a storage access point for us. So we'll go ahead and do that, and we'll leave the kindling. Now we can adjust the collection radius based off of the distance, but for now we're going to go ahead and leave that at default 200 meters. Otherwise, you can build multiple storage houses if you want and kind of plan their distances based off of that for efficiency. But for now, since we have a relatively small village, we're just going to keep this at a default value and have our porter just go within that radius and collect it himself. So now Greta should be able to access the woodcutter's logs without having to worry about any of them being at the storehouse. So there's 32 in there, and we're going to start getting those processed. Turning nighttime, so I'm going to go ahead and work the night and hit a couple trees myself and see if we can just refine some planks ourselves and keep the show on the road. Now it is August 21. We're approaching fall. We want to make sure that we have lots of berries and kindling stored for winter, in case that some unforeseen events during the cold happen. We want to make sure that the villagers are taken care of. Okay, let's gather 30 planks. Moving. Oh, we should kick off another research since our scholar is not currently working. Let's start working on tavern asset here. So I'm gonna select the tavern barn cooking pot. and start researching that. That can be our task, our next task afterward. Okay. I'm going to continue where we left off here with the rope fences and keep decorating down. Perfect. Let's add torches. Right. Table snap with good to go. Okay. All right. Decoration score 37 out of 40. We are almost there. Let's take a look at maybe a seat bucket or something. Furniture should do good. Maybe a stool. Add a stool. Stool, right? There we go. 40 out of 40. We should be able to upgrade this now to the next tier. Buildings. Fishery. That's going to cost 100 gold. How much do we have? Oh, 142. I'm making some money. Okay, we are officially upgraded. Very good. Tier 2. All right, let's take a look at our recruits. Okay, obviously it's been quite some time, so she has left the pool, but that option will remain open. Now we do have a we do have Isabel here. Small amount of sales, basic tavern. You know what? Let's recruit Abigail. You can tackle just about any job. We're gonna rename this one to the Fisherman's House. Well, let's have her fish for now. We can always reassign her. All has officially arrived. The trees are going to start changing colors. We had crops. All that good stuff. It'd be the time to harvest. But for now, we're going to look towards the well-being of our villagers. So we're going to do a couple things here. We're going to build a tavern. Let's build a simple tavern, and then let's build an additional home. I'm thinking we place a tavern right here smack dab kind of central to everything. There you can see the leaves are now changing fall autumn look even at nighttime. All right, let's carry it away. Got work to do. So with this tavern, we're gonna kind of plan this out. I'm gonna do so in tactical view here. we want to make sure there's enough room to kind of go for the design we want. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a foundation here, here, here. Like so. And if you don't like the layout, for example, this primary road here, you want it to lead up to the doorway, we can select the whole thing and just destroy individual parts or the let's select the entire building. Wait, you'll get your resources back. Let's try again here in tactical view. Kind of zoom in here, rotate, shift. Let's go ahead and try this left. So we want the front doorway to be much here. We're gonna extend. We're basically making like an L. There we go, just like that. And from here, I'm gonna add stairs, setting up our wall. Doorway. Some windows here for a really good view. Tavern. Regular walls here. Kind of the kitchen area. Add some here. Something like that. Now we're going to take a look at our corner piece here. Start out with thatch. Corner piece here. Here. And we're going to need wall slope. And we're going to do inverted here. Like so. After that, I do want to add, I would like to add kind of a second story, like storage area, you know, whether it's decorative or something you can. There goes Alexa again. We're going to add a storage or some kind of access to a second. So what we're going to do is create arches, support it. This will also be a natural support for lighting, like chandeliers or torches, candles, you know, things like that. So we'll go ahead and just place these like
Okay, now that we have all these archways up, go ahead and take a look at got a there. All right, so always some. Now we can add some second story shelving, floors, thing. Probably do. So the thatch roofing is actually going to make it. That's something that we need to polish up there. But I think what we'll do here first is add. So Then we'll add those. Tactical. The roof cut out. Get at that. Turn the tactical, and we're gonna need to tune that. So now you can see we got a little storage thing. Do the same over here. Let's. Actually, let's take these out. Add it here. Take this one. All right, let's go back to the tactical view. Corner thatch over here to add the regular thatch. Good to go. All right, cool. So we got kind of the interior framing more or less done here. And I mean, you can always add floors to the second story there, but I'm going to keep it pretty simple. Down here, we're going to add a bar. Oh, it's still locked. Oh, it's still being researched. We are not there yet. Okay, so we've got the bones for the tavern ready to go. We'll add a door. Okay, so we do have the bones ready to go. It's a matter of just getting the research done on it. Meantime, we'll check on the rest of the. Now the library decoration score is kind of low, so that may be impacting the efficiency of the library. Let's just kind of. Eleanor's on it. Not the best productivity bonus right now. Productivity is at 23%. We're not going to be seeing a whole lot of efficiency there. So I think what we could do is add a little decoration to this. Over the doorway. Add a door first of all. Leather. Letters. There. Let's add some trim. Increase that structural. For. And railing. Really. Got some more clutter. We're gonna be adding a lot more clutter. Further develop. What I'm going for here. I'm just gonna go ahead and add.
there.
Lighting going. Oh, we need wooden planks. Over to the storehouse, grab. Oh, not have planks. We shall check our woodcutters. Greta. All the planks are to. She's taking some right now. I'm gonna make some more of my own just so that we keep stockpiling. Now I'm gonna head out a little. Across the, or the king. Fell this tree. Grab some more. Great. Looks like I'm gonna join Greta here in helping out with the planks. Okay, I got 40. That feels pretty good. I'm gonna carry on. We were boosting that research bonus by improving the library. So let's see where we're at now. Library is currently at 64% productivity. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the library to a tier 2 now. So we can add a second scholar if we wanted to. But I want to focus on maybe some additional furnishing just to top this off. Add a torch. Add a bench out here. Oktoberfest gun. Get some lighting in here. I think wall candles feel appropriate. Good. Right, that should boost up our research a bit. Let's double check one last time. Library is now at 41/60. That puts us at a productivity bonus at 49%. It seems to have gone down, maybe because we had upgraded here. Can probably put some shelves, things like that, to kind of additional decoration. Some clutter that we definitely need to add more of are like books, paper, pieces of paper, and right, we're at 55%. Part of that could be boosted also by improving our home. So what we could do here as well is improve the quality of our scholar's home. Let's take a look at that. For tier 2, tier 2 we need tier 2 structural parts and a table. But for tier 2 structural parts, in order to do that, certain resources, we need brick. In order to make brick, I believe we need a foundry. Turning clay to brick. Yep. So the foundry is going to be locked under research as part of the Hamlet. So in order for us to get to the Hamlet kingdom, we need that basic tavern. So we're capped at a population 7 out of 10, visitors 7 out of 15, kingdom value of 1,134, 42% morale. We got to improve that morale a bit. Once we get the tavern, I believe can definitely. So research-wise though, we are moving along, and it's completed. We should be able to get our tavern rolling now. So what we'll do here, let's kind of get our bar situated. Kind of the interior of the bar, so we'll place one right here, snap the other one right to it. Couple. Might be a no, don't fire building. I'd like to add one of those bars on the side, like, but we need more wooden planks. Cool. Let's see if Greta has added any. 6. We might be at the point where we're gonna have to expand our lumber operation. Either that or look to upgrading our woodcutter. Oh, we got 35 here. Delay my last. Yeah, because we don't have the porter running the planks over from the woodcutter over to the storehouse, we now have to double check to make sure that we go to the actual woodcutters and retrieve the resources. Okay, so now I can complete my bar over here. So perfect. Now we need a stew pot, we need dining table chairs, so let's go through all of that. Here's a stew pot here. We're gonna add this in this cooking area behind the bar, like so. And let's add some dining table and chairs. Gonna go to furniture. We're gonna do some round rustic table. You can do the round ones or a rustic one. It really doesn't matter, it's up to you. I'm gonna place some over by the windows. Kind of get a variety of them going. I like them to be aligned. I'm gonna make sure that I do get them aligned here on the. I think that. Let's get some going. Or got 3 left. We really burned through quite quick. Okay, there's a chair right there. Let's head back on our focus on planks. October 17, winter is still approaching. Over here, I'm gonna go ahead and manually refine more lumber into planks here. I'm gonna look at upgrading the woodcut. Take a look at our efficiency. Okay, let's take a look at our stats on the woodcutter. We are ready to upgrade it. 47 structure over 13, 47 over 24 here. Right now we're looking at a productivity of 38%. So let's see what we can do to improve that. We'll go ahead and spend some coin upgrading that tier. Our decoration score is now set there. Well, let's add a couple of decoration. Maybe we'll add a bench
how's it
just for
going?
them to rest up on. Maybe some barrels and crates. Oh, woodcutter shelf. This is a huge boon for them for sure. So I'm gonna add one on this. Actually, I'm gonna swap out the bench. We'll add the shelf over here. Right, we got the woodcutter shelf over there, and we're gonna add a bench over here, right side.
I wonder how the crops are faring this season.
Okay, now let's take a look at our score. All right, productivity has boosted 46%. Decoration score 19 over 60. I would definitely need to expand this if I wanted to really to extend the decorations. But I think this will be manageable for now. I think it's definitely an improvement in terms of productivity. And once we have access to clay and start making bricks, with the forge, we'll be able to upgrade a lot of those tier pieces. That should definitely help. So we need one more dining chair in order to fulfill the requirement for the rustic chair, or for the tavern. I add one to the other side, and there we go. We have our initial tavern. Go ahead and add a couple more. Now you can add 4 chairs per table here. Got room for 4 more chairs on. But for now, I think this will do just nicely. So let's start working on tavern keep. And for this one, I know that let's take a look here. Guide. For the tavern, you know, there's 2 workers here. One. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up a prefab for housing, and we're gonna execute on A's home, which we are missing wooden planks. Enough wooden. I'm gonna check the woodcutter's hut over here in the storage pile for additional planks there. Got 10. Greta is still hacking away, producing planks a little bit slower, but that's okay. Any help there is good help. You know what? I think I'm gonna execute on a meeting house. Sooner or later, we're definitely gonna need a really expansive home for some talented recruits that we. I'm gonna help out with that. So we're just gonna hit more trees here. Perfect. We'll take this back over to the woodcutter, and we're refining. Okay, very good. Let's see how much we need for prefab. Oh, 15 more planks. Okay, good. Definitely.
A good day, is it?
Hello, Greta. Greta seemingly teleported from out of nowhere. So the reason, if you see them do that, the reason why they do that is that it's a fallback mechanic. So if the AI or if the villagers ever get stuck anywhere with their navigation or their pathing of the logic, they have a fallback solution to where they'll teleport out of it. So sometimes they're aggressively doing so. And that's something that we're gonna iron out over time. But that system is in place just to guarantee they're able to reach their workbenches and able to get themselves unstuck.
A fine day, plain and simple.
All right, good to go now. 40. Perfect. Medium house. So this medium house I had previously built before, saved as a Pablo. So it'll save us some time here building this out manually. I'm gonna go ahead and place. Go ahead and place it right here. So we'll name this one and fuel it. So this house will be the barkeep's home. Or let's call it the barkeep. Like the sound. And we'll name our tavern. We'll just leave it at tavern for. Now we have a slot for tavern keeping and servers. These are tradesmen. So let's go ahead and see what recruits we have available for. You have a tradesman here with greens on house building requirements. Flirty, bookworm, spends free time at the library. So we might actually do some. We might do some juggling with our scholar, especially since Alice is a bookworm. Spends free time at the library and might be more. So let's go ahead and we'll make an offer of 35. Good. And let's take a look at villager maintenance. So in the library we have Eleanor. Eleanor is currently our. Yeah, Eleanor is the barfly, and the other one's the scholar. The other one is likes to hang out in the library. So her movement speed is quick. She's really well suited to be a tavern keeper or a server. So I think we're gonna swap her out, but we're gonna do so. First of all, we're gonna do by going to the library and we're gonna right-click Eleanor to deassign her and place Alice here instead. And at the scholar's house, we're gonna Eleanor and add Alice there. And at the barkeep's lodge, we'll add Eleanor here. For the tavern, we'll assign Eleanor as the tavern keep. And that should be good to go. Now we got a tavern keep. Need a server. Barkeep's lodge in place. We've got our tavern here, which we can continue to expand and nice. Now you got a spot for your villagers to come relax. Markets nicely. So let's take a look at where we're at. So kingdom wise, we are at the rank of hamlet. Next rank is village. Requires a basic temple and a population. So, checking our research. Need to keep this moving. Next rank is we're at hamlet now, so we can research the ale casket, altars and pews for a church. Tier 2, we got the loom coming soon. We got furnaces. Let's go ahead and start researching the furnace, because I would like to make a smithy and start getting bricks rolling. now that we have our library efficiency and productivity up a little bit better, Dallas, we should be able to start getting that research pipe down the line. Here it's already begun. And we'll start planning out our smithy. Now the resources we're going to need are definitely right now going to clay. And we do have a clay node over here. But awfully close to the fishery. I want to see if there's any other clay available down the creek over here. And we know, especially near waters, we're more likely to access to clay. So we're just going to scout out a couple of the locations. Now, if you explore the world, there are mines like that. So obviously those are also good locations to especially build. But we'll just, for now, we'll just go in and around our village and see what other deposits essentially that we find. The deposit here, that was the same one that we saw earlier. I'm just gonna follow this creek, or follow this pond around to where the pond creek over here. Oh, there's another clay node over here. We got a couple over here. Pretty. Go down this. There's another one. That bend. Roughly 3 nodes. See if we can find any. That's might be a little bit further away. Not seeing any. So I'm gonna double back, and I think we will set up next. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. Got 3 over here, so let's build we'll build a little small remote house over here. Relatively. But some. Like something happened here. Placement. Let's select this building. Yeah, I think it had to do with the prefab placement. Breeze blocking it. Back there. Relocate over here, maybe. Pretty good. We got close to clay resources. Oh, we got someone really wandering around over here. Josephine. Oh, she's searching for berries. She must have cleaned out those berries that were close to the forager's hut over there on the other side. I'm not too worried about it. Those will regrow, especially once spring comes back around, maybe. And once we get some garden plots and things like that in the future, we'll have more opportunity for them to. But I'll let her keep hunting. There should be plenty more berries around. Meantime, got clay here. And go ahead. Oh, I forgot to. Did I build the barkeep? Build that. Okay. Check the rest of them. I want to make sure that, especially for winter, top of the month. Now for this house, it's gonna be all this. Made these home. Accidentally pulled up some debug there. Apologies. Okay. Add fuel. And now we need peasants. But first, look at. Okay. So furnaces, we're obviously getting the furnace going. We're gonna build another structure that's actually kind of similar to. We're gonna build another structure that's similar to. Place. I'm gonna place it right. We'll place a foundation here. Rocks get over those bushes. And some foundation stairs here for easy access. Let's roof going. Up this. Right. Go back to our structural tab and place the wood. Here. Add our trim. Perfect. All right, now we have kind of a spot for our foundry. Let's have that ready to go. So that's almost done. So I'm gonna start keeping an eye out. Let's take a look at the guide and see. The foundry, worker slots 2, furnace or storage. I don't know what the requirements for villagers are going to be. I imagine peasants. I'm almost positive, not 100%. Our research is complete, so we're about to find. So let's see what the requirements are. 100 gold, 10 planks. Easy enough. We're going to place this smack dab. Perfect. Now we've got our foundry ready to go. Now we just need the ore storage. Take a look. Here's the ore storage right here. Place this in accessible location. That's right next. Perfect. We may have unlocked some decorations. We'll take a look. See. Anything we can find, additional decorative scores, maybe some barrels. Anything that'll help out with the productivity. Torches, stuff like that is all. Okay, winter is officially here. We're starting to move into cold territory. I want to be checking on our kindling. But first, let's check the foundry requirement.
Here it is. Okay, so bricks, iron, gold. Clay is what we want. Smelter and miner. Okay, we need tradesmen. So we're gonna take a look at our recruits, see if there's any tradesmen available, which there are not. Have a peasant, or possibly a server. Grumpy, innate minus 10 morale boost. Productive, starts work 1 hour early. Barfly, we might have a good addition. Our tavern. Now we have Isabel, small modest house, basic tavern requirement. Let's recruit Fergus for our tavern. Oh, he rejected it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so obviously I should have capped that out. That puts us in pickle there. You could always pick up parent village. Eleanor, we want to make sure. Okay. So we can pretty much suit up anybody with them. For now, I'll hold off and wait. We can get any tradesmen in our next. Winter's here. So here we have it. It's snowing. Trying to push tracks around in the snow. For the Smithy's home, we're gonna go ahead and leave. I think I do want to draw get a little trail going on here. So we're going to actually hit P, and we're going to head over dirt road. I'm gonna draw here to the home and kind of find this. Connect it to the road here. Perfect. Okay. Now we got a little trail over here that goes to the when you place these trails down, villagers will opt to utilize the trails. So it's a way to provide some additional pathing for the villagers themselves as a way to guide them in between buildings and certain locations. Right. So taking a look at our buildings again, woodcutters. So actually, for the woodcutter's hut, we can actually get more lumberjack. But Greta is not. Homebody, close to home. Requirements 14. Yep. We have everything in place there. Abigail still. We can help Abigail out with her home. Fisherman's house. Yeah, let's as this. Add a seat. Little stool maybe.
Improving that decoration score has definitely improved Abigail's morale. Good. Go back and take a look at her and let's focus on improving the tavern. We'll start researching that. We also have new recruits available, so let's see who we have. Edward, clumsy wanderer, perfect. Let's get him in for our smithy. We need him, so I'm gonna cap him at 45. Make him a generous offer. Is accepted. Smithy's home, assign Edward there. Victim maintenance fuel is loaded up, and let's our Foundry, and let's assign Edward to mining. Now let's go over to the Foundry itself, and we want to take a look at. Okay, yeah. So all we'll need is a smelter next. So we can keep an eye out for a smelter. In the meantime, we're not going to be able to recruit anyone with basic tavern until we have the tavern, I believe, upgraded. We have stews ready to go, fish stews ready to go. Stew pot. May need a server. So we're definitely going to need a couple of tradesmen. I'll go ahead and kick things off by doing some mining myself. Hit up this clay node. Start collecting up some clay, storing it in the smelter foundry, rather. Now those clay deposits, they won't disappear. They will regenerate over time. So if you ever find one, you can always utilize that location. I'm gonna store clay in there. I'm gonna retrieve the bricks here. Something we're doing is setting up the furnace so that it lights up on fire and everything. So when you interact with it, it's the proper animation set up for that. Right now, it's just a basic interaction. That's why you saw the hammering stuff. But we're actively getting in the furnace set for the animations and whatnot. So now that we got a couple bricks, we're gonna look at a tier 2 upgrade, and we're gonna identify what we need to upgrade the most. And I think our storehouse could probably, or library. I'm thinking our storehouse. You have a 12 out of 20. Take a look at the details. Market storage. Tier 2 structural parts. We need 2 market storage. Okay, let's take a look at some. Maybe we'll look at one of them. Let's see which building has the lowest efficiency, and we'll boost its productivity from there. Wood cutting seems to be the most logical. So let's see if we can upgrade the woodcutter. Actually, no, can't. The woodcutter's home. Is what we want. So we need tier 2 structural parts in that table. So let's do this. Let's go over to the woodcutter's home, and we'll start upgrading some of its build parts. So we'll just convert some of these walls here too. Add the shutters back. Add a table in here. Do a simple rustic table for the end. Maybe add a chair. There we go. Now let's take a look. Here you can see Woodcutter's house is now available to upgrade. 100 gold. 56 over 26. And we're going to go ahead and upgrade that. Perfect. We're at tier 2. 85% productivity bonus. Greta is now very happy, which is great. So that should boost our overall efficiency wood cutting. Eventually, we'll want to collect up all the bricks and start upgrading the building there. But if we take a look here at the woodcutter, at the actual woodcutter, yeah, productivity has lowered, or is at 51%. Even though they're a lot happier and their productivity should be improved, we still have the issue of the decorative score productivity bonus of the actual woodcut. So we're going to focus here a little. And what we're going to do is either expand or upgrade some of this. Take a look and see. Do here. We didn't do trim, I don't. Let's add tier 1. There, 21 over 60. Could probably expand this, upgrade. Let's do a test. Got brick foundation stairs. That's currently wood. That mesh needs that asset needs to actually be updated. Or tier 2. And that didn't impact our decoratives. So I think what we're gonna need to do is just add maybe some additional lighting, some support assets like barrels. Problem is that our structure is only so big, and it's only 2 foundations big, so we can technically expand the size of the woodcutter, make it a little bit bigger, I want to make sure I dot my I's and cross my T's. Do everything we can on our initial decoration. Trying to get that core back up. Placement of a few additional torches. Really illuminate. We can see if we got any access as signs, but we don't yet. That might be a byproduct of research. So for now, we're gonna leave it at that. Double check the productivity. 68%, getting there. If we want to do anything, we should just expand the size of the woodcutter's hut. And that should get us to where we want to be, especially if we got 4 workers, 4 peasants working on it. In terms of the house, here we got Greta relaxing. Start to upgrade the rest of this. Let me see how much brick we have. We got 27 bricks, so we can knock down a couple of these walls here and just start replacing them with tier 2. So I'm gonna go over to structural, do stuff. We'll add a, yeah, we should add. There, do regular tier 2 wall over here. We a couple different designs that you can from, just to create a little bit of variety in your. We could upgrade the foundations, but for now, do the walls. I believe. All right. So let's go ahead and our gable here. Same on the other side. Add our, whoops. Add some trim to that and be able to call it a day. Now we can upgrade those roofs to the tier 2 wooden roof. But for now, I think we're good. Plus, I really do like the look of thatch. So it's great that it doesn't necessarily mean you have to upgrade every single piece. That's why there's those like baseline requirements. But I love the look of just the regular brick plaster, you know, walls for tier 2. Feels very lived in, and it feels very appropriate for the era. But let's take a look, see what the impact has been. The woodcutters. Oh, it's been renamed. So because we did delete. There we go. So what's happened is, since we've upgraded it to the next tier, the decoration score boosts up again. So you get a higher cap, but then you get lower productivity again. You got to work back towards that productivity bonus by either expanding, but the benefit is that you have additional quarters now to that house. Since it's a tier 2 home, we can recruit another peasant, technically. And assign them here and continue to expand or improve the decoration. So I'm gonna go back to, oh, I did delete those shutters. All right, that's great. We'll collect some more wood, some more lumber, and some wooden planks. Lit. And let's see where our research is currently. We're still pushing through there. We do have visitors, looks like, coming to the tavern, which is great. We need some lighting. Once again, I have been distracted. Placement of torches. Not very up to code, but still cool nonetheless. Actually, this is a good, we should be using the candles. All candles. That'd be our best up to code a set for lighting. Okay, got a good bit of lighting there. We'll add torches outside here just to mark the entrance. Research complete ale casket, so we can actually add that now. So let's go ahead and add that. Take a look at production, I believe, or it might be services. We're looking for, I think it's the barrel tap. That is what it is. Barrel tap. What we want. So we're gonna add a barrel tap here, but looks like additional resources. What we're missing? No, we got it. Sure. Why it? Let's try adding one here. 8 wood planks. Apparently I'm missing 8 wood planks. Oh, I've got 7. That's it. All makes sense. Perfect. There happens to be one at the storehouse. How convenient. All right, let's get this tap here. People want the barrel tap. People need barrel tap. Barrel tap they should have. There we go. Take a look at the tavern, see where we're at. Speaking of research, we need to keep going. We don't ever want the research process to lay idle, but there will be periods where we need to look at upgrading the village. We got loom, which is coming soon. Investing in mirror. We got a bunch of stuff that's still coming soon, part of the early access process. Okay. Building tavern. Now we can see here we got 64% productivity. We're 82 over 40. Right now we don't really need to upgrade it to tier 2 because we still need a server. So I'm going to take a look at the recruits and see. Okay, we do have someone that is ideal for the role. Magdalena. I'm going to go ahead and fill this position out. And let's go to the Barkeep's Lodge. Magdalena to the quarters there. Eleanor likes that, obviously. The tavern assigned Magdalena as obviously very happy with that. Slight improvement, obviously. Bet you we can boost it as we upgrade the walls, as we upgrade the building. We're also gonna see if we can get another. Okay, I would love to get Henry in addition to our Woodcutter Lodge. Fortunately, we need the basic tavern requirement. We're gonna have to go back over here to the tavern. And it seems like we may need to. There's a 5 coin upkeep to it, so it looks like we may need to look at upgrading some of its pieces. So I'm gonna look into that. Okay, I only have 1 brick left, so I'm gonna hold off. Yeah, I'll double check with the. I've upgraded some of these pieces. You can see the foundation now is stone. I've upgraded the walls to brick, plaster. So this is partially complete as I'm upgrading the tavern. This puts the tavern in an upgradable status, I believe. We would need a couple more dining chairs, which we. And I'm out of wood planks. Get some. Lots of planks. We're gonna take all those planks. Really?
I wonder what tomorrow.
All right, that should do it. Let's head over to our tavern and go ahead and upgrade it. There we are. Looking good. Okay, that should open up some of the tavern requirements. Edward is okay. We may need Edward, I believe, for Yeah, for the Smith. So let's recruit him. Now you probably noticed I had a couple. It looks like duplicate Edwards. That's something that we are addressing in terms of like the character's not repopulating with exactly the same names, but you can always rename them. So if you end up with another character that's the same name, you can always just go over to the villagers tab. And in our case, it was Edward that we got two of. We don't want to confuse the two, so I'm gonna edit one of them to William. That should resolve any duplicate issue. Outside of their portraits being similar, but that's going to be expected. Oh, you know what we forgot to do? Okay, so I just realized, why aren't we producing? And that is because our porter is going over and grabbing them and pulling them over to the storehouse. So we actually forgot to tell the porter not to pick those up. So we need to do that.
I wish I could say things are getting better, but they're not.
Okay, so the resource isn't listed here, so this is obviously a bug, or it hasn't been added since this has been a recent feature. But this should be able, we should be able to toggle the ability with the buildings to collect from here, and that kind of provides a filter in terms of all the resources. So that's something we will make note address well. But we do know that the bricks are going somewhere. You can also manually check them, check their backpacks. So carrying 7, take those from him.
I'm sure I'll see you again.
Be on his way. And let's go ahead and help mine up these other ones. Okay, and then we got 40 bricks. Definitely do some more upgrades. Let's look.
There we go. Let's add our workbenches back. Do a nice little simple barrel display over there. That should be good for now. Let's get our torches back up. Oh, that's cool. So one of our miners, we obviously had a positive effect on him with assigning him to um, the smithy home that we built. And we got a good boon from it. A great home perk, plus 10 morale. The villager really likes the decoration in their home. So obviously the better you decorate, the happier your villagers, which is a great thing. So far as it stands, we're at a hamlet. We need to boost our population to 12. We need to start creating a temple. And that's going to obviously be important, or a church, or in this case. So I think what we'll do is we'll build one. Build one here. Part of me does want to wait for spring, but part of me keep all move. A band of raiders has been sighted near your village. Okay. Probably want to fend off the bandits. Yep. Here. I'm gonna fight. And I just ate steel to the face. There's Thomas, the tough guy. Remember him when we were trying to recruit him? Uh-oh. Help us. He's good. Help Thomas over here. Got him. We successfully defended our village. If they got any. Have some coin.
Some swords we can take. Hey, that's free weapons for the rest of our guys. So let's go ahead and put them in the storehouse for these guys.
I've no complaints. Well,
Fish there. Keep it in my inventory. Okay, let's see about this church. So for the church, we're going to kick this off with a brick foundation that's trying to really now push through the research tree to something very simple church. Nothing crazy. Be 3 foundations long. Add stairs here. Actually, let's add a wooden foundation to it. Stairs over here on the side are adding structure. Doorway to our church there. Let's do double door. Why not? Why? What we'll do is the thing has a run. Add full. Basic. Thatch. Here, we're gonna need oh, I'm already out of bricks. I didn't realize that. See if we can procure. I could do 3 wide and center the door out, but I kind of want to try building a church that has kind of a smaller entrance. So maybe we'll just revert to 1. Go from there. Okay, we're back at the Foundry, and or Richard taking them.
I'm sure I'll see you again.
He doesn't have any on him. Let's double check. We'll double check the storehouse. None in there. So the question is if our villagers got William mining, got Edward smelting. Let me track him. See where he's over here.
I'm sure I'll see you again.
Check his details. He was last trying to move to a stool when he was relaxing, I would imagine. Doesn't have any negative. Oh, other than the fact that he's a wanderer and he's clumsy. May need an alternative shelter. Yeah, which is funny. You have all Bertha. Well, we're gonna have to make do for now. So we get the right recruits come our way. But so far, the village is looking great. You can see that within this play cycle, we're at a kingdom rank of Hamlet. Population 11 out of 15, visitors 6 over 20, kingdom value of 1683, morale is 39%. It's gone down a little bit since our previous village upgrade. So obviously we got a lot more work to do. We have our labor force kind of filled out. Porter, we got a scholar, we got a merchant, server, so on and so forth. We do have our economy primarily focused around the sales of berries at the moment. I'll double check this else here that or the market. Yeah, primary focus around the sale of berries. Now it seems like we made it through winter just nothing major that has no major blizzards or anything that would have drastically impacted our production or threatened the life. So this is where we're at so far. So obviously there's a lot of things that you can do to further decorate your village. You can add outhouses to various locations that the villagers will use. You can add wells. A rustic well here. Requires 6 bricks. But you get to store. So next time I'm going to continue working on the church, and we'll continue expanding the church and build that up. I think what we could do for now is stick to tier 1, at least get the framing for it done, and then build that up. But eventually, ideally, we would want to get that stone church to this really cool looking monastery type looking building. You can easily do that once reach tier 3. That goes in line with castle building and like that, which is currently in early access production. We can still achieve much of that look with tier 1 and tier 2. Tier 2 being obviously the more expensive and costly choice. But once we get that in place, good. So I think what I can do for now is convert this to a wooden church base, and we'll preserve the brick, and hold that off until we get our initial implementation of. Okay, so what I'm front entrance. So what we'll do here is we're going to do a simple triangle wall. Side, front. Take this. And actually expand. Higher. In our case here, we'll add a fountain. here and here. And then what we'll do is end this. Then we'll basically add a doorway here side. Maybe on this. Go ahead. All this up. Let's see what we can make. Here we're gonna do sloped. And the goal here is going to be to extend the height of this build. So what we'll do here is we'll add a simply add a second level window to each of the sides. And let that light really, we'll add it. Cathedral feel. Now we do have to keep in mind that we do need to maintain structural integrity. So I'm gonna set up some. And I'm gonna go ahead and we'll do a wall. Oh, I'm out of. Now we got plenty of lumber, so grab that. No, we didn't. Transport. Go back over to the cutter. I should add a pathway over here. I was mentioning that earlier. Do that real. Get this pathway. Curb this spine. Pathway. Like the log pile, we got lots of lumber. Lots of lumber. Partially because we were focused on brick for a hot minute. We'll grab 80. We'll grab some more if we need. Okay. All right, so this is going to be a little bit tricky because I do want this nice and tall. So what we're going to do is add. See if we can just. Let's see if we can get the framing. So we'll put these here. We'll close that off. We'll we may need to do a second level. We may need to do some rafters. Get up. So we can look at doing some stairway up, or maybe an up for a second. Got this guy. We got these guys we can use. So let's plop this guy down for now, and then second floor temporary just. Oh, actually bumped it. Okay, now we're up here. B. want to get this tower going. Let's identify the center. So this is going to be kind of our center. And we're going to just and let's take a look. Yeah, that's looking pretty. $2,000. But let's carry on. Yeah, I think what we should have done is done a 3 or a 5 across, set the doorway in the middle, and do a single tower straight up. Cap that with a gable, and then extend the sides from there, and then make it tall off. I think that may have worked. But I digress. I think what we can try is we can try this too. Try adding a triangle. Well, let's keep going up with it. I think I'll go back up to the rafters here, and I think I'm gonna add the triangle wall right here, and we'll do one on the side here. Here, rotate it around. Pretty good. Do the same. And then from here we'll do, start shaping up. We're gonna add a thatch here. That's and then we're gonna need so for our final step, what we're probably gonna want to do windowed wall. We need to extend. Oh, I really love when get use some of. Fortunately, there's no. So what that means is, we need to extend support down from the roof. So what we'll do here is simple arches, and we'll go from our rafter, and we'll extend it that way. And once I'm done with the rafters, I'll set the support so that the bottom rafters here have beams holding up the rest. That should work right there. Now all we gotta do is let's go back up to the walls here that we were talking about. Start getting added. Good. And our final gables that are this might be easier and tactical. We need to do the
work technique down here. Get our walls back up. Patch. And all we gotta do is seal up the rest of the church. Cap it off with and that's pretty much complete. So now let's take a look at, take this out, make sure it didn't destroy anything. All right, perfect. Now we have the proper supports that are going all the way up into our church tower. And man, let's take a look inside. Yeah, that definitely church material, right? Especially once it turns into. Let's add some trim. Give it a little bit of depth, because any flush roof it's not correct. Want these like ridges because one, it prevents the weather keeps snow from collecting. Good. Pretty. Go to the back and backside. This will look really cool once we get that stone tier. Okay, let's check our research tab and sure that altars and pews is what we need for researching that. In the meantime, I'm polish up our build. Okay, so I'm gonna do like a wraparound porch. Perfect. And just to make it easier, let's add some foundation up just there. We'll remove this one. And to make sure that visitors are properly entered. You could do short walls, or I'll just think we got some inclement weather. Whoops. That one up. On it, just right there. All Right, and that should be good. Got Fergus and Isabel. No, I haven't seen any yet, or I haven't seen any acolytes or priests. I would say that's pretty. And once we get the church running, we'll be pushing into the next kingdom tier. So next rank, once we get our population up, 15, we'll be at the rank of village, and from there on, we're just going to keep on expanding. But here you have it. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here. I just wanted to walk you through, and this has been a very lengthy kind of walkthrough, but I wanted to deep dive, show you our sandbox mode and everything that you can. So much potential here with creativity, creating a functioning village. You know, right now we just had a mysterious traveler arrive at the village. Gotta go find him, see what he wants. There's all kinds of triggered events that will happen. You know, the choices and decisions you make will impact your villagers directly, and it may impact things in the future like diplomacy, or it may attract brigands and or outlaws or thieves, things like that. If you don't have any security, eventually you can build a moat and bailey if you want. Especially once we get to tier 3, you know, have a widespread village that's kind of your labor force, and then create defensible walls and create an interior bailey surrounded by defensive structures, and lastly your manor or your keep. So that's what we're currently phased in on and working on through early access development, and just keep an eye out for more news, more things that are going to be released as we continue to develop. You know, there's going to be a lot of additions to our research table, our research tree, our guide, a lot of additional recruits and features that focus specifically on the villagers, romance, marriage, offspring, you know, the lineage of families that are developed within your village. So really it's focused and around the personality of your villagers. You'll be able to interact with them and speak to them with events that pop up, depending, disease, all that stuff. So be sure to visit our website, noblelegacygame.com. Add the game to your wish list. It helps us out so much. And if you guys enjoyed, be sure to pick up a copy yourself. Support the development of this project. You know, we're excited working on this. We love builder type games. We love the medieval genre, and this is something that we're passionate about. So if you feel the same way, it doesn't hurt to show your support. Join us in Discord. Join the community and share your creativity with us and your feedback. And with your help, we'll be able to shape this game up into something very special, unique that everybody enjoys. Otherwise, thanks for watching.